What's the story about you running around pretending to be Superboy? Is that true? When you were in school?
Yeah.
With the cape?
It was
you have
so
it?
sick. I'm sick.
That's what we're here for. We want to hear all the sick stuff.
Hank, you know, this is
True story? True story?
Yeah, what it is my father's a beautician, so he had a lot of barber's capes around, and I was scrawny. I had, I didn't have a shadow. You know, we're talking thin, all right? So I was fascinated with two characters, the Steve Reeves Hercules character and Superman. So I bought some Rit dye, and I dyed my T-shirt blue, and I dyed my underwear red, and I dyed my socks blue, and I took this barber cape, and I put the S on with a crayon. Of course, it was backwards. And I put it under my clothing. And I was going to school, except I was looking like a hunchback, you know, because the cape was all like this. And I had my friend Jimmy Cohen, and I pulled him into the men's room. I said, "You're not going to believe this. I know you think I'm Sylvester. I know you think I'm like Tweety Bird and Putty Tad, and you make fun of me and all that. But underneath all this is Superboy, okay?" And he said, "You know, you're duh." So I opened up, I showed him a little S. Jimmy, my best friend, of course, runs out into the classroom going, "Ah!" My friend is having a nervous breakdown. We got Superboy in the bathroom. So what happened is they took me up in front of the entire school at lunchtime, made me take my pants off, my clothes off, and everything. And I'm standing, knocked me with this barber cape on. And, you know, and they said, "Now, flap for us. Flap. And you better fly." And I never went back to school after that.
No wonder you went from school to school.
Yeah.
I'm back. Hey, try to be nice to some people. Well, what do we have here, huh? Why would you be carrying a knife like this?
Hunting.
Don't be a wise guy. What do you hunt with a knife?
Aim it. This film, when we did it, it was so bad, at least I thought. We tried to buy it back and burn the negative. Originally, it was 3 hours long. I stayed an hour and a half in the woods chasing guys. Plus, I was pontificating throughout the thing. For example, I shoot an owl, and then the owl drops. I go, "Take that, you mouse-munching mother." Oh.
So how did you fix the movie? What did you do?
I said, "Here's a good idea. Cut out all my dialogue,
right.
every line, and have other people talk about you." It went from 3 hours to 90 minutes.
They're all gone, sir.
It's him. Get on it.
Hold your fire!
He's laying there and he's fucking screaming. There's pieces of him all over me, just like this. And I'm trying to pull him off, you know. And it's my friend that's all over me. He's got blood and everything, and I'm trying to hold him together. I'm putting him together. His fucking insides keep coming out, and nobody would help. No one would help. And he's saying, "Please, I want to go home. I want to go home." He keeps calling my name. "I want to go home, Johnny. I want to drive my Chevy." I said, "Well, what? I can't find your fucking legs."
I thought this film will appeal to no one except close relatives. That is it. I mean, this is the most expensive home movie in history. And when that worked, a whole different consciousness came to me. Now I felt I had a responsibility to a character that is quite real.
I think the man is nuts because he's given himself things to do in this picture that nobody should ask of themselves.
It was about 8 months of training, 4 hours a day, toughing myself up. The SWAT combat courses, the archery courses, the survivalist courses. Straight out or twist?
Well, it's
When we first started the show, he called me over to show me how good he was with it, and I just thought, well, let's see what he can do, and he was damn good.
Yeah! Dead center, how about it?
In the movie, we take shots as far away as 185, 190 feet. And we got lucky on a couple of them. Whereas Rocky was, you know, the fictional boxer who goes on to do these incredible feats. This fella is based very much on fact, so I had to be quite careful.
In 1973, at the end of American involvement in the Vietnam War, 591 American POWs returned, leaving 2,500 Americans still unaccounted for. In 1979, 6 years later, Marine PFC Robert Garwood was released after 14 years in captivity. Early this year, he publicly admitted that he had seen up to 70 Americans still alive in Vietnam.
I want it known the fact that I was not and am not the last American live POW in Vietnam.
He had seen Rambo, the First Blood movie, over 220 times, and the doctors have given him 3 months, and he was in a bed strapped down with tubing and all kinds of equipment, just life support systems, and he said he just doesn't want to live like this, and he pulled all these tubes from his body and said, I just want to go out with some kind of dignity. He had taken Rambo, the character I play, his life, his need to survive, he had taken that credo onto himself, and he said he wanted to live by that code. I was up there flying it for the first time, and I had about 11 people on board.
Oh man, you're doing one of these numbers.
I had a turbulence, and I pulled a stick, and 2 of them headed right for the door. And a friend of mine just grabbed it at the last second. Needless to say, it's been lonely ever since.
Why make the search for the POWs the thrust in this motion picture?
Well, it's a mystery that hasn't been solved, and one that is, I think, a very pertinent subject in people's minds, because it's probably the last link of the war that remains unsolved. And it's also the most painful for many, because it has destroyed their families' lives, and their wives always have this doubt, could he be alive or couldn't he be alive? And if he is alive, what is he like now? So it's a very nagging question. I often put myself in that position. If I had a brother who was lost, I could never just say for certain that he was dead. I'd want to know for sure. And that's why I think this movie is quite pertinent in that fact and has a lot of validity.
It took about 3 or 4 hours to set it up, maybe 200 bullet hits. We have to hide all the wires, try and save some of the machines, and make sure that we don't hurt anybody.
Something that is that hard to coordinate, the exploding, the firing, the shooting, the acting, the atmosphere, everything, and it all comes together in one fluid movement is, well, just about the ultimate high. Well, I've always believed that the mind is the best weapon. Times change. For some people.
Amen.
That's true. Don't let me interrupt you, Colonel.
Upon insertion, call home base on Transat. And then proceed to kill the children outside.
732.
So, and
Once done, rest assured we'll get our men back. If there's any of our men left at the POW camp, we confirm their presence by taking photographs. Under no circumstances are you to engage the enemy. I repeat, do not engage the enemy. Cut.
Please fix this door.
93.
Action.
Sly Stallone.
Shut up. Stop talking.
Gun dropping specialist.
Keep running. Still running.
Cut.
That's good.
Good for wardrobe.
Huh?
Bring the last two.
Second, how will you live, John?
How will you live, John?
Ready, cut.
Tear up the carbons.
Cut.
Fuck you!
Is that great or what? Thanks, Tom.
What do you hope to accomplish with this picture? What does this film have in it for you?
Well, I hope to establish a character that can represent a certain section of the American consciousness, and through the entertainment also be educational. Whereas Rocky kind of provided the insight into a fighter, but he was more than a fighter. He was the working class man who became a working class hero, became a working class symbol, then tried to regain his simplicity again. While Rambo is a man who started out as a very flag-waving patriotic guy, was eventually scorned by the country, and now he's trying to get back his own dignity and regain the pride that he once had and shed the guilt. And that's what I'm trying to accomplish in this film, that these men have nothing to be guilty for. They should be prideful human beings, and they accomplished the job as much as they could accomplish under the situations and under the guidance in which they had. So Rambo is the spokesman for the man whose voice right now isn't loud enough.
Here's Johnny.
For that, you want to be entertained, right? That's very nice of you. That's very nice. I'm Johnny Carson, the Nebraskan stallion. Hey, Adrian. Oh, this is the monologue, or as it's known, First Blood 3. Yeah. Anyway, Sylvester Stallone is here with us tonight, as you probably...
I'd like to have a recording of
You'd like
that.
to have a record then and carry it with you wherever you go?
Thank you very much.
Just to feel secure every morning, you get up and hit the applause button and...
Instead of an alarm clock.
Go back into your career 10, 12 years. Would you ever thought you'd walk on a television show and have that kind of reaction?
No, actually.
10 years, let's say take 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Yeah.
I don't know, they usually don't scream like that when you sweep floors. No, I never dreamed that it would even get to this magnitude. I thought perhaps I could be playing bullies and people like that Jack Lemmon would be beating up in films and always one falling down. I never thought that it would ever transcend into a character where he would be somewhat likable.
If you put it in perspective, let me ask you one off-the-wall question. Are you happier now than you were, say, 10 years ago when you were struggling? It sounds like a dumb question. Most people would say, of course he is. He's got fame, he's got the money now.
That's a good
Therefore, you've
question.
got to be happier.
It's a good question. You know, It's like the responsibility of trying to get the film done, of trying to stay in shape, of trying to be on budget, of trying not to get beat up too much while fighting giant Russians.
Giving
Things
up your lack of privacy and your personal relationships and life is, blasted all everything.
No,
Those are the negative sides.
But
basically, I think it's funny. When I talk to most entertainers, some of the happiest time in their life is when they were back there struggling to get the recognition for some strange reason.
Well, let's face it, I think the climb up the mountain is the most exciting because you don't know what lies ahead. Once you get supposedly to the top of your profession, the only place to go is down.
Rambo, First Blood Part 2 leads the box office cash parade by a mile. Unofficial Entertainment Tonight estimates put its 6-day take at $30 million. Sylvester Stallone is sequel to none.
Do you feel more vulnerable the more successes you have?
Yes, you do, because there's nothing that breeds insecurity more than having reached a certain level and then not being able to attain it again. It usually begins to prey on your own mind. Have I lost it? Have I used every trick in the book, let's say? Was it just a fate? Was it destiny? Was it the stars? Whatever.
And the big question, how did ticket buyers on both coasts react to Rambo First Blood Part 2? Well, Movie Track found them waiting in long lines and, when it was over, loving what they saw. They gave the movie the grade of A. The statistics tell the story. 48%, an unusually high figure, said it was the very best. 34% loved it. 12% liked it. Just 5% were disappointed, and only 1% said it was a bomb. Rambo also scored a bullseye with its target audience. Half was under 25 and male, and those are the ticket buyers who can make or break a movie. Movie Track predicts Rambo First Blood Part 2 will be one of the top 5 grossing films.
So much for dialogue. Now, what am I going to do? Sit here and criticize Rambo? What's the point of that? What you see is what you get.
The first of the summer movies opened, and one of them opened with more than just a bang. Sylvester Stallone's Rambo First Blood Part 2, which was released in a record 2,165 theaters, had an Entertainment Tonight projected huge first-day gross of $4,100,000. And Entertainment Tonight further projects that when the dust settles and all the money is counted on Monday night, Rambo could rack up as much as $25 to $30 million in its first 6 days. But what did Leonard Maltin think about Rambo? He's here now with his thoughts, his opinions, and his infamous 1 through 10 scale.
For all these people who go, you got a hit there. You mentioned that one stunt. You were involved in that stunt. Close the fire thing.
Well, what happens is there's a little bit of madness that seems to permeate my brain when I'm doing a character like this. It seems like
you start to believe that you can do this.
You believe sometimes that I want to do that stunt. And what they do is they fire that gasoline from a cannon, and you mark it off about 30 feet away, and as they fire it, you hopefully that it's the same amount every time. And as you run, if you keep a certain speed, you'll just clear this ball of fire. If you don't, we're having Rice Krispies.
Rice Krispies tonight.
You know, so and this is a few of the stunts in the film that were really interesting to do because it's all a matter of timing.
Right.
Stuntmen are extraordinary human beings. I mean, their whole life is a matter of millimeters
Gags,
a
as
second.
they call them,
Yeah,
right?
the
Work on
gags. They call them gags, but very brave men.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for coming. I know you can't stay the night. It opens tomorrow all around the country?
I'm sorry.
Folks, I'm staying.
You've got the maestro.
Bye. Thanks for coming.
Savage is attacking! Once we take these pieces, Hydro, we'll rule the world, General Warhawk. We need Rambo! Rambo, the force of freedom!
Here's a present, Haddock. Wow! Rambo, behind you, Warhawk! Rambo, my sword. Look out! You again!
Rambo, the force of freedom!
Get Rambo and General Warhawk with their battle-action weapons, each sold separately.
By the way, in a few weeks, a new film opens, Rambo 3. You remember in the first movie, Rambo took over a town. In the second, he single-handedly defeated several communist armies. And now in the third Rambo film, they say he really gets tough. Almost makes me wish I could serve a third term.